I don't know why, but Slate Digital plugins for me just kind of fell out of fashion a few years ago, and I owe it to Slate Digital to check out some of their newer stuff right now because they just updated their virtual mix rack, and I'm going to check that out maybe halfway through this. But for right now, I want to scroll through their user manual for the virtual mix rack. Now they just put out a space delay plugin reverb, and that is not included in the VMR, but all this stuff is. And I'm gonna see if this is. I don't know if they updated the user manual for the new release or what the deal is, but so there's FG Stress, which is one of my go-to compressor plugins. And I'm not going to read through this entire manual. Okay, so here we go. You can search through the modules. There's categories. I think that's one of the new features. And let's see. Obviously, you can add and move them, duplicate, remove. And my main favorite new feature is the GUI scaling. So I'm going to see if they have that in the manual or not. And let's see. Also, I want to see if it still works with Windows 7. Preset system. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here's a new feature. So, hold on. VMR key commands. This is important stuff to remember. Double click or alt click to reset a parameter. You can right click and drag or control and drag. I'm talking about Windows right now. Right click and drag or control and drag for fine adjustments. More than likely you can also do control and mouse wheel along with I'm not sure what automation dialog is, but interesting. Remember that for later. Control, Windows key, Alt key, and click. So the problem with that is if I hit the Windows key, the start menu comes up, I believe. So, all right, preset system. Yeah, here's one of the new features. And so it combines a bunch of the modules into one preset. See how it says, welcome to the future, start creating from here. And yeah, cool. Cool. And I'm still looking for the GUI scaling, which they, as far as I know, they put it on the upper right side, which they probably shouldn't have. There's a reason, there's a logical reason that GUI scaling is put on the upper left corner, because in case something is enlarged way too much, you can always recover from it. If it's in the upper right corner, it's a little bit more difficult to do that. So hopefully, I guess we'll find out, right? Oh, here we go, macro controls. Now this is kind of cool. It lets you select a bunch of controls, I think, or maybe they're already predefined, and then you change all the controls at the same time. So, oh, look, yeah, it says you can do macro mapping. Nice. So I'll have to, actually, this is probably important for me to read through. New in VMR 3.0, allows you to simultaneously adjust several module parameters from a single knob. Some presets already include macros, but you can also set them up yourself. Click the macro button on the left to toggle the macro mappings display. If you don't have any macros, displaying the macro mappings will automatically create the first macro. Sorry, I got distracted by the screenshot right here. All the modules controls that you can map or assign to a macro are colored. Click on these controls to map and unmap them to the macro. Create new macros by hovering the macro column and clicking on the plus element. which is that little, positive circle thing right there. If you have, I'll make this bigger for you guys if you're on a phone. If you have several macros, clicking one selects it and displays its settings in the macro mappings display on the left. From the macro mappings display, you can rename the macro by hovering and clicking smack in this example. Delete the macro. I wonder what that line's all about. Delete the macro by clicking the trash icon. Display and rename a control mapping by clicking the toggle. Adjust the relation between the control and the macro. Range progression curve. I guess that's what this is. In this example, the macro named smack is mapped to the threshold parameter from the FG Dynamics module and to the input parameter from the FG stress module. When the macro is set at 0%, the threshold is at set. Okay. So it's, best way to put it is, as you move the control more, how much does it change over a percentage? And like, see where this is? The threshold is set to -7 decibels. And then over here at 100%, see at 0% over here, because you don't want to have it all the way set down to like the lowest threshold, Then at 100%, it is at -26. So you set it at like a reasonable control depending on what you're trying to go for, if that makes sense. Okay. A full circle or rectangle around a control means that it's mapped to a macro. A dotted line means that a mapping has been created but is disabled. Click the link button to relink the control to the macro. Okay. So that's the link button right there. And when the macro mappings display is open, mappable parameters are colored. That's cool. So it's this reminds me of like Photoshop or something. Any existing slot automations are ignored when a module parameter is mapped to a macro. That's good. The value of the macro and its automations is used instead. Good. But important to know. Okay, A/B snapshots. This is nothing new. Here we go. We got oversampling, which is not a new thing, but in case you don't know, here it is. Okay, settings. Opens this user guide. Online support. Scaling, this is the big one. Defines the interface scaling. Inaccessible values are grayed out. What? Why would it be inaccessible? Because it means that that's good. See, that's smart, because that's what I was saying earlier, is that if you screw up and hit the wrong setting, well, they made it so you can't screw up. Good. Theoretically speaking. So, rotary knob mode. Okay. Oh, it can be useful when using virtual mix rack with a touchscreen monitor. All right. Cool. Undo, redo. That's important. And that's pretty much it. You know what? Let me go through the modules I haven't used yet. I've seen Revival, Trimmer, yep. 1176 blackface emulation. This is the one that was originally going to be modeled after the channel compressor for SSL, and then they started adding more things. So it's kind of like a combination of an SSL channel strip with a distressor, and not talked about often enough, including from myself. But FG401, you can do a lot with that compressor plugin, but because it's not like actually 100% emulated off of something, it doesn't get talked about enough. Here's the what's it called? The Neve 1073 module, the FGN. This is their SSL equalizer and what was it? The high pass filter. And then we have the VCC, which I still use to this day because I still love it. Oh, and here's like the specifics about the VCC, different modules I can do. The custom EQ. Similar to the Pensado EQ from Acustica Audio, but this came out first. FG Bomber, which I did not like very much. Just, it was okay, but then they got into the VMS with their preamp modules. So this one's a 1073. This one is based off of the Telefunken 76, if I remember correctly. And then we had IOSIS, or the Fabrice Gabriel, who used to be the primary programmer for Slate Digital. Anything named FG whatever, he was the primary developer for it. Anyway, back when he had his first company, IOSIS, he had something called the Air. And anyway, Air and Earth are based off of that equalizer. And that's what those are. Now here we have the 1176 Blueface, which was the original module from UREI. And now Universal Audio, which I never tried. I don't think I ever tried the Slate Digital's Blueface. And they have a vintage one and they have a reissue one available. Okay, and now the Monster is the all buttons in 1176 mode with some extra features. I use that one still. And let's see, just because I don't talk about Slate Digital that often, that doesn't mean I'm not using them in my mixes, you know what I mean? Like, they definitely get used. Okay, now these are the tube preamps. So, I think I'd made a brief video about them a long time ago when they first came out. Here we go, here's the FG Stress, which I never made a proper review about. But it doesn't really need any introduction. It's based off of the Distressor from Empirical Labs, and it is officially licensed or endorsed. Either way, it's great. It's great. It's definitely one of my favorite compressors. And then here's one from a company called Audified. I don't really know what... I haven't tried this enough. I didn't try the one within Slate Digital, but the U73B, I forget what it's based on, but it's a compressor. I have so many compressors. I'm like, do I really need to try another one? But I'm an EQ sleuth, we'll say. Here's the one. FGA is based off of the API 550A, I believe. That makes the most sense, right? And they doubled up the mid-band, which is nice, just like they did with the FGN. And we got... So, Slate Digital has one of the best noise gate plugins around. And, so if you need a noise gate plugin for some reason, the Gate Bundle is a good one to look out for. Again, these are all things I probably should have tried over the years and just didn't get around to doing it. There's so many plugins. I wish I could try every single plugin, but... just not enough time in a day, Back when I was younger, absolutely, but too much stuff going on, man. So, okay, here we go. Here's the LA2A emulation. FG again means Fabrice Gabriel programmed this primarily, and it is based off the LA2A from Teletronics, now Universal Audio. Good stuff. And obviously they added a couple more controls to the mix. So, and then we have the custom opto, which my buddy Patrick Renee, aka Trax, Killatrax, he recommends this one in particular because it's like an LA2A but better. It's kind of like a LA2A combined with a CL1B. So it's like very, very good stuff. And yeah, this is the one I would get over the FG2A because I have enough LA2A plugins. Okay, now this one is a more exact replica of the SSL channel strip compressor, but and the noise gate to go along with it. So yeah, and then we have oh, that's right, the noise gate is a separate module. Okay, I didn't know that. Cool, that makes sense. What else we got here? The FG DS902. So this is a de-esser if I remember correctly. Yep, there it is, right there in front of my face. It was one of the original de-essers. I believe this is based off of a DBX902. I like to have one of those, like for like a real one, if they sell it. I don't know if there's a better de-esser hardware out there, but yeah. And here is I think this is another DBX module, and there's one of these up on Access Analog. No, sorry, this is a Dolby, I believe 360A, something like that. Anyway, Dolby, which was originally like a noise reduction thing for tape, but people used it as a like the user manual says right here, an exciter. People use it on vocals and drums a lot, if I remember correctly. And then we have, oh, this is a new one, Transient Shaper. Okay. Slate Digital, man, they've been busy. And then we finally have the, this is a Pultec, because everybody put their Pultec plugin out, but Slate Digital, well, they finally put one out. I think it was this past year, actually. So there you go. I need to try these, like seriously. I really need to try these plugins. Anyway, there you go, guys. Slate Digital. I'm caught up on the VMR stuff, and oh, I meant to go through the actual plugin while I was doing this, but oh, here, I could just look in the new folder. And what is that? Oh, here we go. Discovery Preset Browser. There you go. Okay. All right, well, I'll dig into this at another time, and you guys can dig into it. My main thing, I want to see the GUI scaling. I can only go up to 125% because I'm on a 1080p monitor. But it supports up to 200% if you're on a 4K display. And let's see what these look like now. Oh, nice. Looks sharp to me. I don't know if that's any bigger than what it used to be, but you know, that pretty much maximizes the screen. Oh, really? That happens sometimes. So yeah, there you go, guys. Now I don't have all the plugins installed because I don't have a subscription or anything like that. But let's look at the rest of these while I'm doing this. What am I missing? FGS, BCC. This is not. Oh, wait a minute. How do I scroll through them now? Okay. That's a little different. Well, good job, Slate Digital. I think you guys did a fantastic job with, you know, redoing these interfaces. Still not as big as I would like it to be, but you know, I can't complain too much. It does look slightly bigger than it used to. I know the text over here looks bigger. So like I said, slightly is the best way to put it. Then again, I'm only at 100%. I think that may be how big it used to be. I'm curious what it looks like tinier. Ooh. But it's good that I don't have to reload the plugin in order to see this. But yeah, there we go, guys. Enjoy. Free upgrade for current, not subscribers, current users. So thank you, Slate Digital. And it was a good solid update, and it still supports Windows 7. Yay!